So, Matt, I discovered this movie was shot on location.
On location?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? What do you mean? Like in the space?
Yeah.
They've up there?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Allegedly. Yeah.
I thought Tom Cruise was. Well, they beat the fucker to it.
Yeah,
Didn't
they do. Yeah.
That's great. Good for them.
So part of their commitment to being as practical as possible is probably why this movie looks so good.
That's fair. Well, I think when you spend this much money on a movie, if you're going to set your movie in space, you should just do it. Just put it in space.
Just put it in space. What do you got to do? What oxygen? You got to worry about that.
If they went to the moon in the 60s, which they did, first off, anyone who's watching, if you don't believe that.
We're pro moon landing. Everything else after that is sus.
That's right.
Everything post that's where everything is sketchy.
But I'm just saying, if we can go to the moon in the 60s and broadcast it live, in 2026 or 2015 when this movie was shot, we can shoot a whole space opera in space too.
Yeah.
It seems like pretty lazy, actually.
Yeah, to just not. Yeah.
I did confirm Scarif was Fiji.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that
it was probably
back.
a tax credit thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The real Scarif is like, the industry's just not there anymore.
No, it's not.
It's just not.
It's too expensive. Just getting those actors there alone would be too much.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I did see parts of Jeddah were also filmed in Bulgaria. Do you want to go to the intro from there?
I think that's a good point to go to the intro. Roll the tape. Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't.
And welcome back to the podcast.
Yes, we're here. We're talking Star Wars.
We are. And not just any episode of the podcast. This is the Patreon. Thank you for supporting.
Or wait, no, this is main feed.
Is this main feed?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
The episodes. This is how we plug.
Oh, you're right. I'm bad.
No, this is Dave's. Dave, we talked about this off mic. Dave was intentionally setting up our name dropping for the Patreon. That on the Patreon for $2.99 a month, we're covering the main episodes, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
In that order.
Yes.
But here, on the free feed,
on
YouTube, Spotify, all that other stuff.
Yes.
We're talking the spin-offs.
Yes.
In lead up to the return of Star Wars into movies.
Yes.
And another spin-off.
Super Bowl commercials don't count.
That fucking Super Bowl commercial. Did you watch it?
I saw part of it. It was enough. My eyes rolled pretty hard. But
that they're doing. It's kind of cute.
It's cute, but also it's too much, I think. And maybe it's just where we're at with everything going on.
My thing, well, that's fair. My thing is Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, episode 9, if you didn't know, came out in 2019.
Yeah.
So this is Mandalorian and Grogu comes out 2026. That is 7 years later.
Yeah, that sounds like the math.
That's a long time. Star Wars has not been on the big screen in 7 years. Let's hype that up. Let's really, Star Wars is fucking back. You've seen it on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, get ready. Jeremy Allen White is a 4-ton slug warrior.
You know what? I completely forgot about this detail.
Yes, Rhoda the Hutt. Star Wars, the Clone Wars' own. And so it's like, if Star Wars is coming back, Star Wars should be fucking back.
Yeah.
And they are, I feel like, really underplaying the marketing.
Disney's been underplaying a lot of the marketing for everything they've been putting out. Like Wonder Man has had no fanfare.
Wonder Man had 0 fanfare. And then the fans saw it and were like, what the fuck? This thing's really good. Do
you think maybe that's the trick? They're like, I don't know. It's right here. We don't care about it. And then we're like, what do you mean you don't care about it? And then we're the ones doing all the marketing for them.
Maybe.
They're doing some reverse psychology to get us excited.
You dropped all 8 episodes in January. We were all like, oh, is this like a dud? But it's like the second highest rated MCU thing in 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
But
Curious.
Anyways, we're in lead up to Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes.
So while we're covering the main episodes on our Patreon.
Yes, so go check that out if that's of interest to you. We appreciate that.
We wanted to talk about Rogue One and Solo.
Yes.
Disney has certainly these two are under the moniker A Star Wars Story, which Mandalorian and Grogu is not. This, it seems like for now, all intents and purposes, the A Star Wars Story series of movies are over.
Yes. But we're here to figure out if we need one more.
That's true. I think, yeah, these are this.
Yeah, this week's episodes are going to be interesting.
Yes,
because especially I was really trying to figure out how to do the points, so I still haven't make my mind up as we go on this episode. Which
that's fair. I have.
And a lot of it just has to do with how I want to look at it and it's our narrative runway point that I think is sort of tripping me up.
Sure.
But we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get it. I thought very hard about the narrative runway in response to me not giving Avengers Endgame a full point. An episode that we have not started season 2 at the time of recording this episode.
No.
But I am currently in preparations for people being upset with me that I did not give Avengers Endgame the points that it gave.
You're doing like a training montage to be ready?
I'm like kind of
Rocky 4. You're like...
yeah, in the sense that I'm building a barrier and a bunker for myself just in case. But I'm very excited to talk about these movies. I love Star Wars.
I do too.
And not in the way where I hate Star Wars. I really like
you
Star
actually
Wars.
Like it?
Like not where I'm like, I love Star Wars.
Not
and
like
then
every
I go
time
online
something
and
comes
I
out
scream for 6 hours.
Okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yes. All are welcome here at the We
yeah.
Need One More podcast. Let's just make
yeah. So Rogue One.
Yes.
Directed by Gareth Edwards.
Yes.
With a little bit of help from Tony Gilroy.
Yes. He writes...
Budget of $200 million. Grossed $533 million domestically and made $1 billion worldwide.
That's chump change. That breaks even. Fucking A.
Mid-budget.
You know what I found out in kind of a conversation with last season's episode? I found out at time of recording, and it will continue to do so, Avatar Fire and Ash grossed more than all 3 Marvel movies last year combined.
Wow.
By like $200 million.
But did it make $2 billion?
Oh yeah, I forgot. It only made $1.5 billion. So who knows if it's gonna get a 4th one. But yes, Rogue One. Dave, what was and is your relationship to Rogue One when it was coming out, as it released, and the time since, all that such?
So I was very curious how this movie was gonna work. I felt like this was a movie I was like struggling to be excited for because I was like, well, like, how does this like work? But at the same time, I was like, this was sort of like uncharted territory for Star Wars. So
yeah,
I think part of me was just like, can it work? I don't know. You know, like I just, but
in terms of the premise of the thing,
well, I mean, it sounds great, you know,
Sure.
but I also just, I remember, like, I can't remember if I was excited or not, to be honest. So it was one of those things where I was like cautiously optimistic, I guess. Cause I remember, and don't at me, but when Force Awakens came out, obviously that was like, we were the most hyped we'd ever been for a movie.
Sure.
And then it came out and
Star Wars was back then.
Star Wars was back the second time.
Yes. And soon to be kind
Again,
of the third time.
The third time. And I remember thinking I didn't love, and I'm not to say I disliked it, but I just didn't love it as much as everyone else did. And I remember being like, yeah, it's good. But I was just like, I felt like I wanted more from it.
I think you're in a safer space now to say that.
I think it is, but I never know. You know, the sequel trilogy is very. I feel like you're hot cold on every like some of it. I think the only thing we can all agree on is 9 doesn't work.
Can I do you a favor and cover your hot take with a hotter take?
Sure.
Check my watch. T-minus 6 years before we get articles on the internet that the sequel trilogy is a masterpiece.
Say that one more time.
I'll talk about this on the Patreon.
Are you gonna say the nostalgia goggles are gonna come out? And...
People are look. I appreciate
the Harrison Ford point, by the way.
Listen, never tell me the.
You should have saved it for next week, but
I really should have. I'll do the politician. I'll do this.
You're gonna go Obama?
No,
let me be clear.
But that was pretty
Last
good.
Jedi.
That's pretty good. Look, I'll say this now.
I'm discovering in real time I can do an Obama impression.
Good. I'll say this now to tee up the Patreon. We're all going to further thoughts on this. I like Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I love The Last Jedi.
Yes.
I think The Rise of Skywalker is kind of embarrassing to watch from I've said this before off air. That is one of the most we're sorry movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it feels like a corporate apology, and that's one of my problems with it. And that's very nutshell of me to kind of blanket of me to say. There's stuff that I like about it, but we'll get into it there. But when I say T-minus 6 years for articles to come out, the prequels came out.
Yep.
Everybody hated them.
Yep.
People,
not me. I was strapped in for all three of those. As little Dave was so hyped for those movies.
These movies fucking suck.
In hindsight, they're pretty bad, but
and then 10 years later, 2005, 2006, right? Revenge of the Sith?
Underrated masterpiece.
All of a sudden, we go on the internet and people are like, actually, the prequels are like really important and
suddenly everyone
and
understood what he was talking about when he was talking about sand and not liking it.
There are things that I like about the prequels, but they are inherently flawed films.
Incredibly.
So, and I'm not saying that we can't
both in concept and execution.
Yes,
more in execution than concept, but
agreed.
If you want to know more about that, we'll talk about that on the Patreon.
I think there are interesting and important conversations to be had with those movies, but my point is, we are in the era of they need to remake the sequel to
suddenly we're
all this other bullshit.
All or hot and heavy for it.
A new whatever Star Wars trilogy Simon Kinberg is supposedly writing right now. Like when those movies come out, people will come back to 7, 8, 9 and be like, actually, you know what? The Casino Planet's really cool because Star Wars was always inherently corny. Like there's like a 50s diner on Coruscant with like a big slug man with a mustache. So like I guess like a Casino Planet with like horses isn't that bad. And they'll come back and they'll rewrite their feelings about this. And I'm okay with that. Your opinion on art can change.
Yes.
But my hot take right now
is that everyone's gonna circle
is
back
that
on
all
this.
of a sudden it's gonna be holy shit, these movies were great.
Probably.
And we mistook them or whatever.
But to answer the question, my relationship. Not to circle back.
Star Wars does this.
No, it does. It's fine. There's a lot to talk about, and
Yes.
it's hard because you want to. I want to. I'm like, let's jump in. Let's go prequels. Let's just switch.
Oh shit! Strap in,
I
this episode's
remember
9 hours
being a
long.
little underwhelmed by Force Awakens, and not that I didn't dislike it, but I just remember being kind of underwhelmed, and I thought the premise of this sounded so cool. I just didn't know if they were going to be able to deliver.
Sure.
And I think this movie delivers.
I would agree.
I think it has some flaws here and there, but this one is like probably in my top 3 Star Wars movies.
It is in my top 5.
Yeah, it's a top 5 for sure.
I think there are movies that it is better than that are in my top 5, specifically one of them.
Okay.
But I have such a connection to one of them that I put it higher.
Okay. And then I think the first time I saw this was in theaters with a big group, and I can't remember. Were you there when we all saw it?
I feel like I must have
I feel
been.
like you had to be.
We had a group of 15 people. I must have been kicking
Surely
around there.
you were one of them.
I had to have been. Yeah.
Yeah, like
because you weren't able to make Force Awakens. We were all trying to get there, right? And then so we must have been all because we were together for The Last Jedi too, right?
No, something that was like a weird one where I went to the wrong theater. It was so dumb. It was so random, but I for some reason got the plans mixed up, and then I went to the wrong theater. So I saw it like simultaneously, but somewhere else. And then we were talking about it. It's funny. I think, the Skywalker, the sequel trilogy, I did not actually see with my friends.
Well, Mandalorian and Grogu, we will be seeing together. Which
and
will
it was
be
like
very
funny
exciting.
because like Force Awakens, I saw with a different group of friends. I don't think we were quite friends yet. I think we knew each other, but
yeah,
I
it
don't
was pretty
think we were,
early on.
I don't think we were hanging out yet. It was like I was hanging out with a different group, and then that thing was like a big premiere thing at the Spectrum. And I like went to it, and because of the way the tickets worked out, I wasn't actually sitting next to anyone I knew. It was like we were really trying to get anyone, and it was so bad because I had food poisoning really bad, so I was just sitting there like trying not to crap myself the whole movie.
Damn.
Only to be like, maybe I should have just gone to the restroom. I don't know.
Well,
but not to get like too graphic or anything. But yeah, so like I remember thinking it was perfectly fine. It was great to see everyone back. I was excited for more. And then this movie came out, and I just thought the last 10 minutes alone just had me like blown out of the water. I came out of that theater extremely hyped and ready to go.
I remember when, because they make the announcement that Episode 7's coming back. they make the announcement that they will be working on spin-offs, and the goal they had said at the time was they wanted a Star Wars movie out every year.
Yeah, they watched Marvel riding off into the sunset, and they were like, how do we do that?
They were like, it'll be like a main episode and then spin-offs.
Yeah, they were like,
what if we raise shareholder value?
Yes, exactly. They were like, what if we did they were like, what if we did a dark universe?
And well, here's the thing. I remember being 15 when that announcement, or no, it got announced in 2013 that they were working on this.
Yes.
That Star Wars was back for the second time. And
it's back again, forever, tomorrow.
And so I was 14. Dies. So as a 14-year-old boy who grew up watching Star Wars, when you hear the news that there's a Star Wars movie every year in the coming future, you get very excited.
Yep.
If I was the age I am at now, which is an undisclosed number, it's 27. When I know, such a crazy number. When
what are you talking about? We just celebrated your 21st.
That's so true. Thank you for saying that.
I'm still blacked out.
COVID feels like it was literally 6 months ago. But if I was that age, if I was this age now, then I would have said like, this is maybe not a good thing to do. But when they said the first spinoff is, we're taking the first sentence of the opening crawl from A New Hope, a group of rebels managed to steal the Death Star planes. We're making that a movie. I remember going, fuck, that's such a great idea. That's such an obviously great idea. John Knoll, who was the VFX supervisor on the prequels, is the guy who came up, who was the first guy to be like, that's a really good movie, and pitched it to Kathleen Kennedy. And she also smartly was like, that is a great idea. Let's get to work on it. They start developing it. And so when that got announced, I was like, that's such a great idea for a Star Wars spinoff. It has some kind of connection, and like, especially as the first one, as like it's connected to the original trilogy.
As a spinoff, it's like connected enough that people can drop in and have some level of hype for it.
There's a connection for the audience, but it is something new and something we haven't seen. And it takes place between episodes 3 and 4, technically, right? Which is
very
not something
unexplored territory for
at least at that time.
The franchise at the time,
there was not Star Wars Rebels yet.
No.
I don't believe.
No, not Rebels.
But Clone Wars.
Clone Wars was doing its thing, but that's more about like, the Clone Wars.
That's 2-3. But when the movie was getting announced, I remember being really excited for it. When the first photo came out of the cast, I thought everybody looked really cool. I loved how dirty and grimy it was.
Yeah, this movie's got an immaculate look.
I remember the friend group that we had at the time loved quoting the trailer. They're like, if you continue to fight, what will you become? Like that whole bit, we would always, Borgullet, which we had yet to see, because
we didn't know we were going to get a Borgullet.
Once the movie came out, we were hitting a Borgullet every few.
You know my favorite thing about Saw Gerrera is
everything about it.
Everything that he's part man, part bionicle. Like when his feet hit the ground, he's like boom, boom.
He's like,
just doping up.
Every choice Forrest Whitaker makes, I'm just loving it.
Yeah.
But so when the movie came out, I remember being very excited. And then I remember as the movie ended, walking out, having this feeling of like, one, the Vader thing obviously like blew my mind out of the water. And I, like the Death Star, my head like that.
Yeah.
And then Han Solo went, great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Nice.
Thank you. These movies are burned into my brain.
Yep.
I specifically remember going,
and she was like,
holy shit, I cannot believe that for the first Star Wars spin-off of introducing new characters that are not connected to the original films, they made the decision to kill each and every one of them by the end.
Spoilers
and that was
for Rogue One if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
Of course, if you're listening to this, why are you here?
If you not?
If you feel like you're getting spoiled on this one, what are you doing?
It's true. But I just remember being so surprised in a good way and really excited by that. And every time I've rewatched this movie, I've seen this movie, I think this is my 4th time I've seen it. Or 3rd time. But every time I've seen it, I'm always like, God, good on them for committing to that decision.
No, incredible.
It was, apparently they had, when they were writing the movie, there was an ending that had them all survive.
Yeah.
And they took it into Disney. Because they were like, we assume Disney's going to want to let everybody live. They took it into Disney and they were like, Well, they should probably all die, right? Like Kathleen Kennedy was like, they're not in 4. Like they seem like they'd be pretty important.
Yeah.
We should kill them.
They got that far. They would just leave. They wouldn't.
Fantastic decision.
No, it was. It kind of like, not like, because it's not, the way this like sends off into 4 is so much stronger than the way like 3 sets up, like the way the Revenge of Sith sort of like bow ties everything to being like, oh, and then they all do this to go to 4. Like, I feel like this is like even like tighter. You know what I mean?
I think what I really love about it is how committed it is to being kind of like messy, that it really wants to. I remember, I think in the press when the movie was coming out, they were like, we wanted to make a war movie but set in Star Wars, and I think mostly they accomplished that.
I think they do, yeah.
I think
apparently a lot of the like concept art was they were taking like photos from like World War II and then just like photoshopping in like clone troopers over where like people were,
which is great. It's very similar.
Or, stormtroopers, not clone troopers.
Don't
at me. Settle down. Settle
down. We know the lore.
Yeah,
most of it, some of it, not
some
a lot
of it is too much at this point.
But which is very much what Lucas did. I mean, they edited the trench run with like, World War. This is not new information. World War II like dogfighting footage.
Tell me like it's the first time I've heard it.
Well, I don't know if you heard this, but Lucas was really inspired by dogfights. 7 Samurai, Flash Gordon.
Nice.
And then Marshall.
Dogs.
Yes, his dogs. Like a dog.
Like a dog. He begged.
My ADHD.
There's never a wrong time to quote Carmine Falcone from Batman Begins.
Of course. But yeah, so
is Tom Wilkinson still alive? Can we get him in a Star Wars movie?
I hope he's
surely he's still alive, right? I got to go check in on him. Shit.
But there was a time I remember
like family now.
where I was like telling myself that maybe I got swept up in some people on the internet that were like,
no,
that movie's
he passed away.
Tom Wilkinson passed.
Yeah, 3 years ago, December 30th, 2023.
Oh my gosh,
he was 75.
One of
R.I.P.
One of the best.
One of the best.
But
he was in Michael Clayton, which was directed by Tony Gilroy.
That's right.
I'm tying it all back together.
Tony Gilroy. I do want to say about this, and it's hard, and we'll have maybe a brief conversation about this as we continue to talk about the movie. Like, it is hard to, and maybe at the end when we talk about narrative runway, it is now hard to talk about this movie and not talking about Andor.
Yes.
Which is a show that you and I were both very skeptical about as it was coming out.
I think I out loud
when it was announced.
Oh, get fucked. I don't care. Like, and now I'm like, that show slaps and is awesome.
Yes. And Tony Gilroy, I bring up the show right now just to bring up Tony Gilroy and the people that Gareth Edwards, who directed this movie, talk about them like putting in World War II footage or pictures and dropping in, stormtroopers and stuff. I think what I like about this movie, and the stuff that I don't like, the stuff that I like, the stuff that I don't like, is very much in conversation with what I really like about Andor, which is the fact that I appreciate Tony Gilroy and other creatives not staring Star Wars directly in the face when making a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I think it is like Tony Gilroy specifically not being so trapped to the confines of like Star Wars and willing to push against it and try new things with it and experiment with it is what has made Andor so refreshing.
It is.
And I think it's what makes parts of this movie really strong. Like, I love C-3PO and R2-D2. Their cameo in this movie feels a bit out of nowhere.
It's incredibly unnecessary.
And when they pop in, I was like, honestly, I love them. You should have cut it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
It honestly, the cameo would work better in like the final 60 seconds just before the Leia cameo. I know that'd probably be a lot, but it's like, we're 5 minutes from A New Hope.
Like,
so it makes sense for them to be showing up there.
Like, I think legacy characters and stuff like that, when a part of the story, I think, when warranted, like, we'll get into the Tarkin discussion with this movie, but Tarkin is a character I can see why he is important to being in this movie. Like, why this character has a place to be in a small supporting role. But it's not about like, hey, don't you love Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like
it's not like it's you know like when the Flash was on and it'd be like next week guess who it's your favorite character.
Sure.
That kind of energy, you know, where it's like there's no plot, we're doing that character that people know.
It's the dopamine. I'm not interested, especially anymore. I'm not interested in the dopamine rush that is fan service. I think it can be. I think it is a good tool that should be used, but I think should be used generally sparingly, and smartly.
Are you saying you didn't get a massive dopamine rush when Harry Styles showed up as Star Fox or whatever? The hell?
that time I did. I lost my mind. Is
Yeah,
Eros, brother of Thanos, a character that certainly will return?
Yeah. No, there's no way they don't pay that off, correct?
Of course. But I think with a franchise like Star Wars or any franchise that has existed as long as this has, the only way to keep it alive is to experiment and test it and push it and try new things with it. And I think Star Wars at its weakest is when it is just kind of playing cameo fest or playing the hits of things that you remember.
Yeah.
I think we will talk about this next week about things about why sometimes just giving the fans what they love isn't actually going to work all the time. But this movie is not that. Generally,
no. This is this was such a good first step into this, and I don't think they didn't figure out how to do this again. I think Dish said it kind of the best, the secret sauce of it all. Like this one has it, and the other ones don't.
Not in the same. I think the Mandalorian starts.
It does
in that way.
It ends up having they end up running into the same problem every
else.
time, and this is gonna be a reoccurring theme, I think.
Yes,
with Disney.
Well, let's talk. Let's get into our three kind of our sections. Like
right.
let's get into quality of film.
Into quality.
Let's talk about the quality of film, even though we've said it's already good.
Yeah, this is probably. I think I am of the opinion that this is the best looking Star Wars movie.
That is a fair take. I think. I do think the
maybe
Last
like
Jedi
behind
is
like
the best
Empire,
one.
but like that, I think that's fair. Last Jedi looks insane.
It looks amazing.
I love the way that one looks.
But I think Last Jedi, Empire, Rogue One, and Solo. I actually think
Solo looks really good.
The best.
Bradford Young, the DP of that one,
very good.
Cooked.
Yes,
and this Rogue One is Greg Fraser, who, if you didn't know, he did Dune, The Batman.
He's very good at his job.
You just look at it and you just nothing but drip.
Yes. It is crazy, and by crazy I mean, hey, you're an artist, do whatever you want to do. Isn't he doing the 4 Beatles movies?
He is doing the 4 Beatles movies,
which is why
he's not doing the Batman Part 2
or Dune Messiah.
Yeah.
Look,
which I'm like
curious.
I'm like ripped to those other guys. Those are some big shoes to fill. Like obviously, I think the template's there, and surely he's gonna be like, here's the plans for that Death Star kind of thing. But like I'm like, oh, I would not want to be those guys. That is daunting.
I will say we can talk about this more off air, but I was going to offer a pitch, which I will offer you guys off air, that the Beatles movies may be something that we should cover on this show.
We probably should.
I think it is an interesting experiment in film.
It's an event.
Yes.
Which those typically do well.
So we'll talk about that more later. But I do agree. I think this movie looks fantastic. I think Gareth Edwards obviously gets hired off of Godzilla from this.
Another spectacular looking movie.
Wonderful looking movie. And it has been said time and time again, but to highlight on this show for our purposes, he's very good at scale.
Yeah,
especially I think when you
every outer space shot is just like, God damn, that's a big thing.
Yes. Well, even I mean, it was in the trailer, the shot of the X-wing going to the Star Destroyer, then going to the side of the Death Star, then to the dish being installed.
Yeah,
that shot is one of those like, yeah, man, fuck, the Death Star is fucking nuts. Bro.
Yeah, I also like that in this one we have the Death Star sometimes is upside down.
Yes, good and cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think the movie looks great. I think Michael Giacchino is doing the score.
He's doing good work.
Always doing good work. Similar to a Greg Fraser, where I'm like, that guy doesn't ever really miss for me. I think the movie, well, one, I think the third act, obviously, like the Vader stuff excluded.
Yeah.
The third act, I think, is fantastic.
Third act is incredible.
I think it is so Again, what I think a lot of this movie is really good at, it's like it's messy and it's chaotic and it's dirty and like it is. I oftentimes do maybe like I'm not saying it's like the most incredible war movie of all time necessarily, but I do think it properly communicates the messiness of the fight.
Yeah, it's doing the thing that like war movies do that most of Star Wars doesn't actually do.
Yes, like when I am, and to not, I mean, we have to talk about Star Wars, but like, when I'm watching scenes in the prequels, I am like not really getting a sense of the war. I you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, it's like hard
I
to
wish
tell.
it was a little
very
more visceral.
Yeah,
and this is more
this one
in
you can
keeping of what I'm
feel
hoping
the
for.
scale and reach of like the terrible things that the Empire is doing.
Yeah,
I think in a way that you can't quite quantify in the original trilogy, or the prequels. I guess maybe a little bit more, but
yeah, the original trilogy also doesn't have a ton of like battle sequences like that. Like it
no,
has.
Well, it's always like there's
shootouts.
like skirmishes like in
Yeah.
a thing, and then it always like it's very like. Like I mean, like the Death Star run is more like a secret mission than it is like a war sequence. Like
Yes,
but this one has like scenes that are comparable to like a Saving Private Ryan or like
sure,
something you'd see in Band of Brothers.
yeah, it doesn't reach those heights.
No,
but it's
not
still,
quite. But
it's good at what it's doing.
It's leaning into it in a way that we haven't seen before.
Agreed.
Which I just thought was really funny that it was like, this is the first time that Star Wars has mentioned war, and the internet was like, and just pointing to the opening crawl where it says Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like kind of in the name.
Galactic Civil War, and they're like, please. And I'm like, no, but like think a little higher, guys. Like, come on.
How do you feel about the performances in this movie?
I
Are
think
there standouts?
The performances are all really good. It's actually funny that because you brought up Andor.
Yeah.
and we can't not talk about Andor because that show's so
Let's
good.
not.
Okay.
End of episode.
Bye,
guys.
Episode, but no. Okay. Don't turn away. Don't turn away. Don't switch back to T Swift. We're still going. Because I assume all our fans also listen to our Swifties.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
Star Wars fans, and should I piss off two fan bases right now? Should I do it?
Why not?
Star Wars fans and Swifties are both incredibly passionate groups of people. That's all I'm gonna say.
I didn't think that was that bad.
That's I realized as I was saying it.
But do they get along?
100% they don't. I think I am in the rare. I like Taylor Swift.
You're the Venn diagram.
Yeah, it's like just kind of me like fucking around and like kicking a rock. Like
you're like yeah, short skirts.
I'm not like an amazing. I'm not like a huge fan of that of Taylor Swift, but I like some of her songs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not her fault that the NFL wanted to film her in the game.
You really sound like someone who just didn't go to the Eras tour twice.
Oh, that's true. I didn't.
Check and mate.
Sorry, I just had to flex on you.
No, you should.
No. But so with these characters in Andor, right? One of the performances I used to not care for because I just didn't. I don't know. It didn't like have any impact on me. Was the character of Andor?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Diego Luna was doing great work, but I just felt like
the writing
just for me, he just felt kind of one dimensional. Like I'm a guy who's here doing a job and you don't understand. But then after watching Andor, I'm like, suddenly everything he says carries a weight.
Yeah,
that is incredible. So he's like a standout now for me, but it's like hard to quantify because I don't know that was ever there to begin with. I feel like Tony Gilroy sort of zeroed in on that character being like, there's a lot to do with this character.
I think there's like a beginning of an idea of like, because we've never met. At the time, we haven't met a soldier of the rebellion that is solely committed. Like Leia is a general and a political figure.
Yeah.
And Andor is like, I'm on the ground, I'm in the fight, and I'm doing what I can to try to make this. So like,
just a regular man, not a chosen one, not like the best friend of the chosen one.
There's the beginnings of something to be expanded on, but obviously this movie is Jin's story, generally. As a bust just like drives through the
I think the
set.
Empire's here. We have to go.
Oh, fuck.
Pack it up.
But yeah, like this is Jin's story. So it doesn't, I do agree. Like it's like they kind of like start stuff with him.
Yeah.
But the movie maybe loses part of his.
It's just like the movie doesn't have time to like flesh him out. So it's like, but like, this like everyone's got like really good chemistry. It's actually kind of like a bummer that this wasn't like a 3-movie build up to the Death Star plans, like kind of thing, because these deaths like are really like impactful and stuff. But it is like funny that it's like we really haven't spent that much time with the team.
Yeah. Well, it's the importance of casting.
Yeah, and like these actors are all so charming. You fall in love with them. I think my favorite is Donnie Yen.
I knew I was gonna say
it's just is Chirrut.
How he's just fucking cool, man.
He's too cool.
He's too cool.
It's like, what are you talking about? I'm blind.
all of
and they put the bag on his head.
Great joke. I think I love the characterization of Chirrut. I love that he is connected to the Force, but he doesn't, I suppose, practice as a Jedi.
Yeah.
And it does feel like the movie is trying to have its cake and eat it too, of like, we want a Jedi in the movie, but we're not, we know we can't put a Jedi in the movie.
We kind of have a no lightsaber rule on this one outside of Darth Vader.
But I think that in trying to have their cake and eat it too, I think they kind of expand on the Force in a way that is exciting. I think it's kind of cool, and I would love to see them do more with I
wish they had done more with it, because it kind of helped explain Rey a little more too, like in a sort of like side way, I guess. But like, yeah, his character is just like really fun. I also love Baze
Malbus,
who has even like less like character dimension, but that guy's just so funny every time he says something. I was just like, I kind of wish we had like a movie, like a buddy road trip movie of just those two.
You know what else he
just
gives?
chumming it around.
He gives very big guy in a coat energy.
I would agree with that.
We're
it's
not
been a while since we had anyone in the big coat club.
Not long into season 2, but there has been a severe lack of big guys.
Severe shortage. We didn't plan the season around this one last time.
It's not a coat, but it's a big guy in a pack. He's got a big fucking
big backpack.
Oh, it's so good, dude. I love seeing him run around with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just got he's in the trenches.
No,
like, that's my guy, bro.
No, he's good. I thought it was their dynamic. I thought was like, I don't know enough about you guys, but your guy, like, what you're about is very clear from the get-go.
I'd love to see an Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman kind of vibe, but
I would agree with that.
Chirrut and Baze.
Yeah.
The Gill Man, or the creature from the Black Lagoon.
See, what I really want to do, and I've thought about this, I've pitched this before, but I have a new angle on it that I need to share with you, and I think I'm going to pitch it right now on the thing.
Okay.
And if Disney, if you take this, just hire me. Like, I'll do it for nothing. It's fine. We've talked about doing Gonk, droid, a solo, like a
yes,
a
we
Star
think
Wars
there should
story.
be a Star Wars spinoff based around.
I think it should be done in the vein of Train Dreams.
I think
and I just think, you just get like Lawrence Fishburne doing the narration a la Train Dreams, and he's the Gonk droid. And you just have him on this sort of endless quest throughout the galaxy, and maybe you just drop in. Maybe we could bump into Chirrut and Baze.
I'm in full support of this.
Pre-Death Star blowing up.
Because I also think, because this is a bit that we've been talking about for years.
Yeah.
I think when we were originally doing the bit, we did kind of have the vibe that it was like vaguely Terrence Malick-esque.
It was very. I don't know that we ever said Terrence Malick out loud, but we definitely were pitching Terrence Malick.
It was essentially that.
It was a very like Thin Red Line, like, who am I? The Dolphins.
Train Dreams.
Adrian Brody's getting cut out.
It's him. It's the Gonk droid in the back of the X-wing, like
yeah.
Like, flying
just
at
sort
the
of
end
like he was like, and then on the 5th day, he knew what life was about, kind of thing.
That's really good.
I think that's sort of the angle, not a parody, but an homage, if you will.
That gets a yes.
Because I mean that I want to do it as sincerely as possible, like not as like it's kind of a joke, but it's also like I want you to cry at the end.
Yeah, it should be played straight.
But
yeah, I think Baze is wonderful. I honestly think this whole ensemble is great.
They're great. They have great chemistry. Like,
the chemistry is great. I think the names rule, dude.
The names are great. Jyn Erso,
Cassian Andor, Baze Malbus, Chirrut Enway, Bodhi Rook.
Bodhi Rook
kind of.
Oh, there's one guy who's like one of my favorite. He's like a side character. He's the X-wing pilot with the mustache.
K2SO.
K2SO.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We've got General Draven.
Alan Tudyk,
and then,
our finest character actor.
General Merrick is the X-wing pilot with the mustache. I think he's got a crazy good look for this movie.
Good.
Is he the one that looks like the dad from Good Luck Charlie?
Yes.
Because I think it's him every time. Bob Duncan rolling in.
There's an actor named Ben Daniels who looks. He does look like him. He was in House of Cards.
Yeah, I think this whole cast is. They don't get a ton of moments to be like. There's to quote an episode we did a couple weeks or like a month ago or whatever now. There's not like a Avengers 2 like we're all sitting around the hammer scene. Like we don't get any of that, but I do think there is enough interplay that I think you don't really maybe connect with them all as a unit. Like they're not like
it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's not a found family movie.
No,
but it is a movie that is. I think it earns their deaths really, the connection to their deaths.
It's that thing that, and Tony Gilroy takes this a lot farther in the Andor series, that like the rebellion is built on sacrifice.
Yeah,
and this movie's about all these random people who were just in the right place at the right time to get the job done. And it's like sort of like the randomness of like the universe putting everyone in like where they needed to be. And I guess it's sort of the will of the Force sort of situation, but just sort of that, it's not found family, but the lengths we're willing to go to like,
we all know
to save the universe
needs to be done.
Yeah. And that everyone like understands the assignment, even though they don't really understand each other. Like that alone is enough for them to like go in and do this suicide mission. Like,
I think, and
the real Suicide Squad, if you will.
Truly. I do think Gilroy is really good at, I was just talking about this, texting with friend of the show, Nathan, stop running, knock it off.
You know you're doing your marathons, but
slow down.
Slow down.
We're very proud of you, so maybe stop it.
Maybe we're too proud of you.
You could do a half in 2 hours.
Oh, so you beat your half marathon time in 2 months after doing your last half marathon?
I'm about to ruin your time right now. Ding. Boom. I can't.
Is that you? Are you throwing him off?
He's calling in Vecna?
I'm invoking the wrath of the bell.
Nathan.
I'm ringing the bell. Is
Nathan running up that hill?
I think he might be.
He is. Is that joke a little dated? Yes.
It's a little dated.
But especially when
at the time this episode drops, like the show will have been done for a while.
Months. But
that show was dated the minute it ended.
I was talking with him about this, about Andor, and I think this movie does it too. I think it maybe I used the word unceremonious. I think Gilroy is really good at making the deaths not feel unsatisfying. Yeah. But they are random and they are unceremonious. They're not these grand sacrifices. They're in this movie. Like they're a little more sacrificial. It's like
they're all grand sacrifices in the scope of we get the plans to Princess Leia so they can do A New Hope, you know. But it's like in the actual context, it's like they're like okay, what? Oh crap! And they're gone, you know. Like it's over.
Death of Bodhi's death. I did the thing. Grenade.
Yeah,
that just happened.
It just happens. You know, the randomness of war just gets him.
Yeah, I think that is.
You know, and it's like very Band of Brothers-esque, where you're just like, what happened to him? And it's like he fell out of a tree. He was just he slipped, like, and that was it. You know, kind of. I mean, everyone explodes in this movie, but
that's true. Everyone does explode.
Everyone does explode, which someone pointed out as a criticism, but
no, K2SO is. He hits
the thing and like grenade.
I don't know how to say that without sounding really dark.
Well, he's blasted a bunch, but then when he hits it, there's kind of like a big crescendo, if you will.
The main group is great. You know who else is really great in this movie? Ben Mendelsohn.
Dude I think he goes in the Hall of Fame of like underrated actors. That dude's so fucking, maybe he's not underrated. I feel like we're all on the same pages, but like that dude fucking rips every time I see him.
I have this weird take that if this is dumb, we can cut this out. But I feel like Ben Mendelsohn to Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's almost Christoph Waltz-esque. And I think they did the thing where Christoph Waltz, also a very talented actor, they do this with talented actors all the time, where they put them in a lot of stuff.
Yep.
And I think we're on the era where Christoph Waltz stopped being in everything.
Well, it was like we got tired of Christoph Waltz, so then we started shoving Ben Mendelsohn in those same roles.
But like Mendelsohn popped up, but he doesn't get the thing of like showing up in everything really. Like
no,
he's in Star Wars. He shows up in in Captain Marvel and Secret Invasion. But there's not
R.I.P.
Like but he's such a good actor, and he's so like, I think he's every time someone tries to fuck with him in this movie, like all the different choices that he makes, I think are so great. Obviously the meme of like we were on the verge of greatness, we were this close is very funny.
A man of your talents.
But I think true.
It's a simple life.
I think like when he finds out that the Death Star project, the credit is being taken away from him.
Yeah, the Grand Moff Tarkin's just taking it for himself.
Yes, that at that moment, I think is really wonderful.
These are my accomplishments.
Yeah, not yours. All
Not
that.
yours. Yeah. So good.
He's wonderful in this movie. He's in it less than I remember him being
Yeah.
in.
Fun fact, do you know he was only supposed to wear the cape in like one scene, but he was like, nah, it's too dope. I got to wear it in every single scene.
The correct. If I was ever cast a character that had the opportunity to wear a cape,
Yep.
I would be wearing that shit to lunch. I would be putting that in as much of the movie as I possibly
You guys sit
could.
on that bench with all the crew, and you're like you're about to do
like
rip out a concerto on a piano.
Oh, this? Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah, dude. If I fucking, of course,
dude. At the beginning of the movie, when he's like sort of bargaining with Mads Mikkelsen, and they're like, and then the wife shows up, and he's like, "Oh, Lara, back from the dead.
What a miracle!
What a miracle!" And he's just like, "Shoot her!" Like he's so good,
so good.
Such a good introduction, and also fucking Mads Mikkelsen, another incredible underrated actor.
Also not in this movie very much, but very good in what he's given.
I think it's very funny
that
his second scene is like when he's the hologram is just a big exposition dump.
It is. How
he does it really well, but that's a really clunky scene for me.
How do we feel about the quote unquote plot hole people had, which is not really a plot hole, of the ventilation shaft now being intentional in this movie?
Love it because I think it's such a strong character choice.
Sure.
That a man was sort of forced to build this thing and he just knew it was going to happen. So he just decided to make it easier to destroy and set them back. Like that would be the real win.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a really smart thing. So I know it's a retcon and kind of an unnecessary one, but I really like it. And it has a really good spot in this movie.
I don't mind it. I think both sides illustrate the same point. I think if it is unintentional, it highlights and Tarkin has this whole thing too in A New Hope where they're like, "Oh, should we get out of here?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And you know,
like,
we're
just about
to
win.
Win.
Why would we do that?
The hubris and the incompetence of fascists, I like that being like the ventilation shaft being there as an accident, as a consequence of their hubris, is pre this movie, I think is a very strong idea. And then I think in this movie, even if Galen as the designer is putting it in, he is still hiding it under the nose of fascists with massive hubris and ignorance.
Yeah.
So the point is still there.
Yeah, I think it still works. Like
that
it can exist alongside it. So I don't think it like takes away from that in any way. So
no, so I don't mind it. I think it's meant to kind of like quiet some people that think that that's a dumb thing, that it's like, oh, there's there've been jokes about it for years, and it's an easy I get why we make jokes about it. It's funny, but I think it works.
I think it works too. How do we feel about the de-aging in this movie?
Well, so it's the de-aging in the sense.
You go first. I don't want to take this one.
I'll take it. I can do this. I have a point about this. So I think I am almost warmer to. I'll talk specifically about Tarkin. I don't think the Leia thing really works. I think as a narrative point of ending it on Leia saying hope, I think all that works. I think the CGI doesn't look as good as the Tarkin one does.
No.
I think the cutting of Carrie Fisher's voice I just think it's a bit too jarring. I get the idea and I like the idea, but I think you could have that point could have been just as well illustrated if it's just the ship leaving.
Yeah.
I think we all know what's going on. I think you're putting a really fine point on something that's already being communicated.
Yeah.
The Tarkin thing, I think as time has gone on, I didn't mind it when it came out. I started to dislike it a little bit. I like it more now, but almost because they are doing worse shit now.
This is like the one time it seems to work.
This is my kind of take and point.
This was like a point of contention when the movie came out.
Totally,
which and I think the points were fair. But like in retrospect, now that we've had I guess 10 years. This is a 10-year-old movie.
So this is it is a 10-year-old.
We're celebrating
movie, which is crazy.
We're celebrating the decade of this movie.
Happy 10
double
years,
digits.
Rogue One.
Happy 10 years.
Rogue One.
God,
more like Rogue 10 years old. Good joke that I made.
Rogue 10.
Yeah. That's true.
And that's where we end the episode.
And we should end the show, probably.
The whole show, not just the episode. But we're retiring.
With the Tarkin thing.
Yes.
So, yes, they are using CGI to put
Raise the dead.
Peter Cushing's face onto an actor. The actor's it is essentially, if you strip it down, it is in a way a motion capture performance.
Yes.
They have on the set, they have cameras, they have dots on his head that are tracking his movements. It is I think the actor's name, it's like Guy Henry.
Yeah.
I need to look it up.
Does a great Peter Cushing.
So this is the thing, is that it is his voice and it is his performance. Guy Henry is his name. That is
Guy Henry. That's a good name. Damn.
Doing Tarkin, right? It's his voice doing an impersonation. He looks like Tarkin, to be honest. You probably could have just put him in makeup. He's a little younger than Cushing was at the time.
But I mean, like, it probably would have been easier to just age him up a little.
But you could have done that. I think the point of it being his performance being motion capture and his voice being used now in the era of AI Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
I am almost more pro this. I am more comfortable with this than what we're doing now.
I would agree.
I am very, very anti what they are doing with Luke Skywalker and AI. I understand wanting to showcase technology. Frankly, I think it is treating the audience like they're idiots.
A little bit. I would agree with that.
I think you are taking an actor, having them do their performance, and then you are putting Mark Hamill's face over that actor, and then you are through AI having AI voice over the dialogue. So you are losing any actual human connection with a performer. And this is where I say I think it's treating the audience like it's an idiot, like they're idiots and talking down to them. At no point watching Luke Skywalker and The Mandalorian am I going, oh my gosh, that's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, we're not fooled by it.
It feels like that's what they're trying to do, of being like, well, doesn't it just look like the guy? It's a movie. It's not real. And to Star Wars' own history, Ewan McGregor is a recast.
Yeah.
Like there are multiple
yeah.
actors that have been recast. Rosario Dawson is a recast. Like
I almost forgot who she played for 2 seconds. Rosario Dawson's in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka.
She's Ahsoka. Like these are like we are recasting these characters. Next week we will talk about Alden Ehrenreich and Donald Glover. Like frankly, ultimately, I think legacy characters, unless you absolutely need them in the narrative, leave them alone. I'm not interested. But if you're going to bring them back, I recast them.
Honestly, well, to your point, Guy Henry, I just found his photo. He does look a hell of a lot like Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
They could have.
So does the guy who plays Luke Skywalker.
I know the makeup technology is there to just make him look so incredibly like that. Honestly, would have probably been more convincing. I would have been like, holy crap, he's alive. And also, missed opportunity, because then you can just do more stuff with Grand Moff Tarkin. And you don't have to spend $300 million, or whatever it is.
This is also my thing.
You don't have to spend all that money with trying to de-age someone. Like now you can just have that character show up and shit. Like,
yes,
if you want to explore the universe more.
This is my also thing with like Luke Skywalker and that original Luke, Han, and Leia, right?
Yeah.
Like we have CGI Leia in this. We have AI Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. And then we have Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. Like when I don't know if that Dave Filoni Star Wars movie is going to happen at any point.
Yeah.
It felt like they were doing, I mean, it's Thrawn. It feels like they were doing, what is it, Shadows of the Empire or whatever it's called.
Is he directing The Mandalorian and Grogu?
No, Favreau is.
Favreau's doing it? Okay.
But Filoni was going to direct.
He was going to do a different one.
Was going to do a different movie. That was like a culmination. It was like the
it was
Infinity War.
His Infinity War Endgame.
Of Ahsoka and all these other shows.
And Bo-Katan and probably.
Yes. And my thing with that, I was like, and I've said this off mic before, but like, I cannot see, I am assuming what you are trying to do at that point is to bring the original characters in with these characters. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if we're going to see Luke Skywalker there, but I'm like, do I really want to watch AI Luke Skywalker and AI Leia, and then maybe they recast Alden Ehrenreich with an AI lookalike of Harrison Ford. Like, that is not cool. That is scary and weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, not a fan.
It doesn't give me. It's not like, and we'll see. We'll talk about this later. Like with Doomsday, like they're bringing back the X-Men, right?
Yeah.
Right, and it's like, oh, like we get to see James Marsden in the Cyclops suit, and that will be James Marsden in the costume that we wanted to see him in 20 years ago.
We wanted to see that we've wanted for almost 30 years now.
Yes. I would love I get the idea of like wanting to see Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber fucking shit up. That is fun and cool. If it is an AI voice who's like, the Force will be with you. We are with you, General Sky, I don't fucking want that, man. Like,
would you like fries with that order?
Yeah, like I don't want to be talking to a Taco Bell drive-through.
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm getting myself a crunch wrap supreme. You know what I mean? Like,
unless I want to order 1,000 waters to see it panic.
That made me laugh. That was very funny. Cool. But like, if you're gonna bring these characters back, Alec Guinness is iconic as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And Ewan McGregor is also iconic as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Like, for different reasons.
Two things can exist at the same time.
No, you're wrong, and I hate you.
Fuck. I leave the show. But like,
so just like, get in here.
Get 3 unknown actors or Sebastian Stan or whoever the fuck you want to cast.
Yeah, honestly, the guy who does the mocap looks like him.
Yes,
like let that guy give that guy a shot.
And put if you're gonna bring them,
I don't need a big name. Give me an unknown. That's actually better.
Put
like,
them
I can
on a
project my
tour.
impressions onto him if I don't know him.
Yes, put them on a press tour so that I can see them and have people be like, oh my gosh, they're such good friends. It does remind me of Carrie and Harrison and Mark, and those are all phenomenal actors who I love and adore, and I love them in those roles. And if it was my first choice, these characters wouldn't be appearing at all. But if you're going to do it, just cast other people.
Yeah.
Please. Anyways.
I got to play devil's advocate.
Okay, go for it.
Do it.
I think the Tarkin one's great.
I'm more okay with
the Tarkin one's good. I kind of am giving it a pass.
But I think it looks great. And I think there's a tact to like how you do it. And I think that respect is a big thing because like, this reminds me, I looked to double check because Carrie Fisher, she passed when the month that Rogue One came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Which made this ending kind of hit.
And so I'm also like, the respect role of a film for someone as legendary. It's like if she wasn't in it, like you think of that movie. And me personally, I watched this, like, I know it doesn't look great. I know it's not her. I'm sure there's some CG, AI, like whatever. But like, I feel like it ends better and then you lead into the next one, right? Like, who knows? Maybe in 15 years they go through and make it look even better and we're like, you can't even tell, right? Because the technology's there. But it makes me think
put like a big alien in front of it?
Right.
That would be cool.
But
I think of rocks.
It makes me...
She's like...
It's the crossover of like reality versus like movies and stuff. Because like, had they have done Black Panther 2 with CG AI Chadwick Boseman,
would have been an
awful,
absolute disaster.
Yeah. What they did was respectful, and I feel like and I even heard, I don't remember which of the newer trilogy episodes it was, but like when they have Carrie Fisher in it,
yeah,
like and I remember that being jarring, and you're like, wait a second, because I feel like how well you do it depends on the level of respect that it feels like, no matter the intention. Like I'm sure they're all good intentions, but like the level of how the skill level of it, because like in that one I remember like watching it and being like, those lines don't line up and this dialogue feels forced, and so it's like that weird thing about it where it's like, had I would have rather them put some more time, and maybe if they did have to use AI to make that dialogue feel better, to have Carrie Fisher be there in a really like respectful and meaningful way, it still could have been done well.
And we'll talk about this when Rise of Skywalker comes out, like, or when
on the Patreon,
when our episode comes out, which people should subscribe to, $2.99 a month is not that much. I'm kidding, but like when we talk about,
he's
that
not
movie,
kidding.
He's not kidding. You should do it.
Don't listen to me.
Worst that could happen.
I'm not trying to sound as much like a fucking.
What's going to happen? The power's going to go to our head.
Damn. But with the Carrie Fisher thing, I do with 9. I agree with you that like the archival footage doesn't really connect.
No,
and it's stuff like that where I'm like, I would rather have this movie be about the absence of Carrie Fisher than finding a way to take old footage and put her in. And I think it is respectful. And I think regardless,
And that's the thing is it's like, could they have just put in a couple, $1 million? I don't know what it is, but to just make that really good, it maybe would have felt better. And she would have been in there. It would have been that homage. Like, she is an integral part of that. And I feel like in the story, from what I remember, it's been a minute since I've rewatched that movie, but like it fits and you like seeing her. It just felt a little weird because you're like, I can tell those are archival and like that's just old footage that they essentially had of her saying things like that.
Which moving because we will I'm sure this conversation will continue in future episodes. Trying to transition back into Rogue One to talk about archival footage, which I think was kind of fun in a way.
Oh, the canisters that they found?
Is the canisters.
I guess the reels.
They found archival footage from A New Hope of Red Leader and Gold Leader.
Yeah, because they got scrapped because they were like, oh, the blue screen doesn't actually work this way, and so they had to like reshoot it, and so there's like old footage of what they were supposed to be.
And they have a brief appearance in this. They composite the footage into this movie. It's very short. It's not trying.
It's very short. It just kind of gives it a little bit more DNA, I guess.
Yeah, they want it. That is a little, almost feels a little less aggressive to me.
No, it's like
I don't think it's necessary, but
there's more narrative precedence for this, I guess. Like it's like these are the same. This is the same team, the same pilots. These guys presumably will be like the ones that survive. Their next mission is the Death Star run. Like like that one kind of like works. Like that's like exciting to me. That's an exciting use of that.
Which Red 5, the rest in peace to Red 5-1, I guess. There is a Red 5 in this movie who unfortunately kicks the bucket and explodes.
Yep.
And then Luke Skywalker swings in there and steals his jersey number.
Becomes a Hall of Famer.
And becomes Red 5, and then he is the definitive Red 5.
Yep. I think that guy does it unceremoniously. Is it the one that just like gets like slapped into the thing? Do you love how specific that description was?
Yeah, I'm trying to place it.
There's a bit where the 3 X-Wings are trying to get into the barrier to like help out the Rogue One team, and like one of them doesn't make it in time, and he just like smushes like on the.
No, he gets shot and he blows up.
Okay.
Do we have points for quality of film that we want to talk about that we can't talk about in rewatchability that we want to discuss?
I think we've kind of hit the points I wanted to talk about.
I think this movie's pretty well. I used to think this movie wasn't well paced, and I
feel like there's a lot of things.
I don't know why I thought
I used to think I had a criticism about, and I didn't have them this time. Like I just kind of.
I've always liked this movie.
It's just movies I've always liked. I've always thought that the first 2 acts are weaker than the third act, and I always thought that part of the reshoots like there was always like a disconnect with that, but I don't know that that's true.
I don't notice it, and also to the reshoots, and I'm sure you've looked at this in your research as well. Gareth Edwards was very present for those.
Yeah, and it quite literally was like they all looked at the ending and said something's not working, and then they brought in Tony Gilroy to help. Like,
well, because the Vader sequence,
the Vader is part of the reshoot. Yeah,
that Gareth Edwards does direct. There is behind the scenes footage of him directing it.
Why did I think Tony Gilroy directed it?
Gilroy helps out with stuff. I think he did come in a little bit.
He's probably there on the day.
But both Tony Gilroy and Gareth Edwards have been like, yeah, the movie wasn't fully working. We went back and we reshot some stuff, and we were working. Like Gareth Edwards seems very happy with the experience. Tony Gilroy is very clear about the experience.
They should team up more often.
They honestly, very good combo.
Gareth Edwards is an incredible director. I feel like his writing is not as strong.
Sure.
Not to say he's a bad writer, but like the creator, because he did The Creator, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I should double check this before I actually say what I'm going to say, because I could be wrong. But The Creator is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I think
but the writing's not super strong.
No.
But great watch. Really, really cool movie. Tony Gilroy is just one of the greatest writers alive right now, and so it's like that team up just like that goes hard. I think that's a good team up there.
I agree, and to the point of reshoots and stuff, Gareth, and something we'll talk about next week, Gareth Edwards does get the sole directing credit, which according to DGA rules, I think it's like you have to have shot at least 70% of the movie or something like that.
It's 90% of the movie must be shot, but there was an exception apparently for Solo, but we'll talk about that next week.
So Gareth Edwards
tease that out a little bit.
Shoot and is on set for those reshoots.
Yeah.
What he physically directs maybe is something that we can't quantify.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere low, like in 20%. It sounds like a lot of this movie was just what they had, and they just sort of a lot of the talking scenes probably.
Yeah, but whatever they rework, this is one of those things where it's like, I think people will hear the word the word reshoots and they'll kind of like freak out. And
yeah,
like,
well, we've seen reshoots ruin movies.
Yes,
we saw Justice Cut.
That's true.
Justice League.
But also reshoots can be very to our credit on the to discuss on the Avengers Endgame episode a short bit, but the I Am Iron Man snap is a reshoot that happened like 2 months before the movie came out.
It's a really good one, yeah.
Makes the movie better. Like
the Darth Vader scene makes the movie a lot better.
Yes. So I do think the reshoots, whatever they were, whatever amount of them they are, I think this movie feels cohesive. It feels like one piece. The reshoots, I think, regardless, feel very cohesive. This movie feels like it doesn't feel like a Justice League.
Nope.
It feels like it's of one piece.
Yeah. It's all in the service of like doing. It's not like we got cold feet and we're gonna have to retool it all because the fan reaction's really bad.
No. In terms of rewatchability, then, how do you feel about having revisited this movie? Do you feel like, I mean, it's a harder watch, in the sense that it's more like, it's not like
the tragedy of it all?
Yeah, there's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's like sadder, I guess. Yeah.
I feel like some people see that as a
that's
deterrent.
The thing. It's like this movie is so cool because it's unique in the fact that this is, I mean, we have the Andor show, obviously, but like a lot of these characters, this is probably going to be the only time we ever see them outside of maybe them showing up in cartoons. So it's like this movie has like a really special space it gets to live in terms of Star Wars that a lot of the other properties don't get to exist in. Like Solo is going to be compared to all the other stuff because it's about Han Solo, and so you can't. This one gets like to be in its own little space, which is really cool, and the aesthetic is so good.
Good.
Just like hanging out in this era of like Star Wars, like the fact that like everything is practical, how dirty it is, and how like all the props department and the actors were told essentially to act like they were on the original Star Wars movie. So you got people like just like smashing things together from the junkyard. All the actors were told, a lot of the X-Wing pilots were told to grow mustaches because the 70s was famous for mustaches. Like, is that Tom Selleck era? So like everyone had mustaches and sideburns. And so like people have mustaches and sideburns in it. Like it's just texturally, this movie's so awesome.
Yeah.
And the locations are great. Like just being able to hang out in this era makes this movie rewatchable enough. And I also think that the third act, like the X-Wing combat in this is incredible.
Really good, I agree.
Really great dogfights like in this one. And it's like I'm just like that alone is worth the rewatch value. So it's like I feel like the first two acts are like not as exciting, but like it's so fun just to hang out in this era. And like that's what makes like Andor even like work really well, is just being able to like live in that space for a longer period of time. So I find this movie very rewatchable.
I agree.
Surprisingly. And I feel like there was a moment where I didn't feel that, but as I've like looked back and as we're rewatching it, I found this movie very enjoyable to watch. Like I thought I was gonna have to split this up in two parts. I ended up just like watching it all in one day.
Same.
And it was like not because I was bored, like just out of pure scheduling. Like I have so much going on and stuff that like to accomplish that I was like, oh, I might have to split this up. And then I was like, you know what? If we're just kind of rework the schedule a little bit, I'll just finish the movie now.
Hell yeah. I think a lot of the stunt work is really good. Like the whole like on Jeddah, the like kind of like courtyard action sequence with the tank, I think is all really good.
I like the monkey alien.
The monkey alien.
There's like a guy who's like kind of like a monkey.
Oh, the little guy with the big gun?
The little guy in a big gun.
Yeah, I'm into that.
He's not wearing shades. Does he have goggles? Do we remember?
He's a little too anarchic, I think, to be
too chaotic. Yeah,
a little like I think like a little guy in shades would be like and fire one bullet through 6 guys and be like,
that's it. I mean,
oh, this old thing, put it back in.
Yeah,
a little guy in shades is like doesn't.
True.
You know, he doesn't have the fury.
True. Yeah, okay.
You know,
yeah,
which I'm all for.
We're all for.
I love
club.
Like
monkey on a gat.
Yes. But yeah, I kind of agree. I honestly think the tragedy of this movie, to use that word tragedy, like I do think, despite it being, I feel like sometimes I say this with love to my family. My family, whenever anything sad happens in a movie,
that didn't happen.
My family's like, bad movie.
Yeah.
Like instantly like, no, bad. And I'm like, but it's important or blah blah or whatever.
It means something, you know.
I understand that instinct. I understand that side of it. But I do really love how blunt, in a way, I think this movie can be at times. I agree. I find this movie really rewatchable. I mean, I saw it in theaters. I watched it again, I think with my sister, I think. And then I remember watching it being like, or maybe I watched it with Laura. I watched it with someone else, I remember, not in theaters. And then I watched it on my own to be like, how do I really feel about this movie? And then walked away being like, I really like it. And then watched it for this show. So like I in practice, I have found myself rewatching this.
This is one of the movies like I've thrown on from time to time when I'm like working on stuff just to have on the background.
Sure.
And like, I mean, like this last time, obviously, I was like watching it very focused. But yeah, I find it very rewatchable. The characters and the cast are really good.
Yeah.
And the movie works. It's got that secret sauce.
In terms of or let's say before we move into narrative runway, I want to give one. Do you have a peak rewatch? What's your highlight in terms of rewatchability? The Darth Vader one is kind of obvious.
It kind of is the Darth Vader one. So I'm gonna because I think it's just we've covered it.
Sure.
So I'm like, give me a second. Let me think. Honestly, all the stuff with Saw Gerrera is really interesting.
I was gonna say Saw Gerrera too. Actually,
I also like that he's like, no, I'm done running. And then there's just like an explosion coming out. And I'm like, you said that like you were going to fight them off and like buy time. And he's just like, I'm going to take that hurricane on.
I will say this point because I do love this. And I feel like we didn't talk about him too much. High point of rewatchability, anything K2SO is doing.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Love K2SO, love the idea behind him. Love the
I was going to say him
and
anything Ben Mendelsohn's doing. Every one of those scenes is so good.
Yes.
Which I know we kind of talked about too, but
they both come back for Andor season 2. They're not huge roles in that, but it's very nice to see them.
Very nice to see them.
Still very good in those in that show. Yeah, I want to highlight. I think it's important to highlight.
I want to shout out the moment where Chirrut has the bow on the hill and he like listens for the TIE fighters and he just like snipes it out of the air. That's also, a pretty clutch moment.
He does is fucking.
Yeah, everything he does is pretty good.
Genevieve O'Reilly is Mon Mothma. What a wonderful. Also recast.
Throwing
that out.
She's great in Andor.
She's great in Andor.
When she's like partying at the wedding because she has to.
Do you know how she was cast? Dish, do you know how she was cast?
Well, because she was in Revenge of the Sith, right?
She is in
nepotism.
She's Mon Mothma Jr. And they hired her. But she was cast for Revenge of the Sith as young Mon Mothma. They shot her stuff and then cut her out of the movie. So she's not in Revenge of the Sith.
I think you see her standing in the back of like one thing.
Yeah, like she had like a proper thing, and they cut her out. They bring her back for this. She plays a small role in this, but is very good. Also looks very similar to the actress that originally played Mon Mothma. Comes back in Andor and is one of the leads of that show.
Yeah, basically,
and is amazing in that show.
Yeah.
And kind of a baddie.
She's a baddie.
I'm just gonna say it. I said it last week when I off air. Mon Mothma kind of fucking rules.
Kind like of moth meat lamb.
Little bit of a crush on Mon Mothma. I'm gonna be honest. But all that stuff. I think the inclusions of all the eras of Star Wars. Jimmy Smits. Bail Organa plays a small role. Very nice to see him.
Yeah.
All the little stuff I can enjoy when it feels like integrated. The C-3PO and R2-D2 stuff does not feel very integrated. The guys on Jedha who are like, bump into them. I've killed a dozen men. That
one's like fun, but I'm like, I don't know if this was the right movie for that cameo.
The problem I think with that one for me is like they bump into him. He goes, "Hey, watch it." He goes, "Hey, sorry, we don't want to do any trouble." That I don't have a problem with. But then the movie like hangs on them. Like they kind of just like look at Jin. Yeah, it's kind of
edited a little weird because
like
the audience is reacting, so they have to compensate.
Yeah, I think that is where it loses it a little bit. But I think Bail is in it, plays a very
two
small
random guys
role.
like bumping into arguably the most important people in Star Wars.
Yeah, certainly one of them. Do we want to get into Dish?
I have to point out, just because I think K2SO is my favorite character in this.
He's one of the best characters.
Hilarious.
Great
which
addition.
Is, spoilers, but where some of my thoughts for Solo come from, just from the high standard that K2SO set. But I had to make sure that I looked up some of the quotes to just rattle off a few. But this one wasn't on the list until I found another list. But it's the "Did you know that was me?" And that part I love. Like,
it's a good bit.
I love
That's a great bit,
the dynamic they're already having. But he walks up, she shoots him, and you see like such good acting with the facial expression to be like, I just shot him. Like, she thought it was him.
Yeah.
And then he shows up behind us like, did you know that was me? Wasn't me? And then I love the scene right after where he catches the grenade.
Oh yeah.
And you know he's got that timer in his head. He knows exactly until it's going off, and he just like chucks it on back, and it's like, that was such a good moment.
Yeah, that's a good moment.
It shows like what he's about.
He has a sequence in Andor season 2 in the back of, which is quite great.
Congratulations, you're being rescued.
Also, I miss Felicity Jones in movies.
I do too.
She's great.
I think another one is I find the answer vague and unconvincing.
I wrote that down. That was a
probability of her using it against you. Mm-hmm. It's high.
It's
very high. I'll be there for you. Cassian said I have to.
Yes, good.
So good. I think the humor was spot on for him.
Apparently a lot of his lines are improvised.
Which
Alan Tudyk was just kind of allowed to do whatever.
It feels like it fits in the movie is the thing. It doesn't feel like it's like someone sat around like, oh, this is going to be hilarious. Yeah. You know, like the part where it's going to really slap and then it doesn't.
This is one of 3 times where Alan Tudyk plays a robot.
Yeah, because iRobot, this.
And Superman.
Yeah, and Superman, yeah.
Yeah. 4 is a good name. So is Gary.
That's amazing.
Fucking great.
That joke is so good.
It's a great joke. One of our fucking finest actors.
Alan Tudyk is way too quick. Apparently the bit when they're like pretending to be prisoners and then he smacks Andor and he's like, and there's another one waiting for you if you're smart off again. Like that was just him like riffing, like, and like apparently like he just straight up breaks, like, and it's in the movie.
So good. Do we want to get into narrative runway on this? Because
Yes,
it's an interesting
narrative runway
question.
is interesting because this one obviously literally the sequel is A New Hope.
Yes.
And Andor is everything before that.
Yeah.
But only with this one character. So how do we want to approach the conversation in narrative runway other than just saying no?
So this
I feel like this movie we have to approach the conversation slightly differently
give a hot
for those
take?
reasons. Yeah.
Yes.
So my usual
no.
He gets up and walks out of the room.
I usually am like, do I want more? Right. And I think like you said, like the characters we have, I do. They died. So spoiler. But I think that, you know, the plot is them getting the Death Star plans to destroy the Death Star. Does this movie really make me want to see that? Not really. I don't know if that's a hot take.
So
are
you saying A New Hope is unnecessary?
Do I feel like I immediately want to watch New Hope for the reasons that I watched this? No.
Oh, interesting. I actually would agree with you on that.
And that's the thing.
For the reasons that I watched, this is a good.
That's like,
note.
And that's why my score is interesting on how I do it. I will say, I do want more. So the normal way that I score, not to foreshadow what my score is going to be.
Yeah.
But my normal way, I do want more. Please give me more of what this is, which I think we had a lot of high hopes for Star Wars and the universe and what was going to happen when this came out. And we were like, give us more of that secret sauce.
Yeah.
And we don't get it sometimes. But yeah, I think that as like a story rooted in the actual like mission, not just the world and how well it was done and the actors and how fun they are and like the characters, because the character narratives are great.
Yeah.
But for the story of steal the Death Star plans, I'm not immediately like, I need to watch episode 4 to like continue on.
Yeah, like the question of more becomes more about, do we want to see another prequel series about one of the other characters? Or like maybe just specifically this era, I guess? Like, is that the question? Or am I sort of how do we
wrapping my head around this is I was thinking about how we've described narrative runway. Which is, are there themes, plot threads, characters, or ideas that you want to see expanded on in a sequel? For very clear reasons, Rogue 2 is a bad idea and shouldn't exist and literally cannot exist.
Yeah.
And yes, the movie has a little bit of a cheat in that its sequel is one of the most iconic movies of all time and has existed for decades. I land on, so I think in terms of plot threads, that's an obvious, like, it's not like a it's different from like a Dune Part 1 and Part 2, right? Where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's like more story to tell.
Mhm.
Like it's like it's just it's a thin line that
Yeah.
kind of blurs it, but I think there is a difference there. Um, Themes, I think I am very interested in the themes that this movie is exploring, and it successfully does continue to explore some of those themes in Andor.
Yeah.
And characters, I do think it sets up a lot of characters that obviously they do not continue beyond this point,
Yeah.
but there is clearly merit in exploring them in other avenues. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I want to see a spin-off TV show for every single character that is in Rogue One, but do I think there is room there to explore them?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where I landed.
Gotcha.
And do we want to then get
I
into the
think we
general
should
score?
do the score, yeah.
Do you want to start? You want me to start?
I can start.
Okay.
I was gonna say I gave this a full point for quality. I think this is a very well done movie. It's a very good blockbuster. I think this is a gold standard for Star Wars movies. I think like original trilogy stuff and this one, I feel like this is like I want to see movies that strive to be this like I want to see them like flesh out more of the universes. There's so much space in Star Wars that we
So what made you so
don't
excited
go,
about
and
the
that's what this was
spinoffs?
so exciting to go to this era and like flesh it out some more. And I think this does that beautifully. So I give this a full point for quality. Rewatchability, I'm giving it another full point. I found this. I very much enjoyed rewatching this movie this go around. And every time I've had it on in the past, I always find myself just watching it. Like I
Yeah.
always think I'm not gonna pay attention as much as I do, and then I do. So I give it a full point for that. Now for narrative runway, it's the tricky part of like you said with the themes and everything. Andor does that. So it's like we technically have more already. And I don't know that we could if you spin off any of these characters into their own show, I don't know what that is without retreading on what Andor is doing, and I don't think you can do it any better, so they have to be about different stuff. So it doesn't really you'd be doing a different thing. So I don't know that that really counts as narrative runway, I guess. Now, I'm not against seeing these characters pop up elsewhere, maybe in a TV series, maybe not their own, but it would be fun to see these like eras where these guys are alive explored so we can just see more of them because I think
Sure.
these characters were great and we didn't get a lot of them. So I'm giving this a 0.5 for
Cool.
the narrative runway because I don't know that obviously you can't do a straight sequel. The prequel area is pretty well covered in Andor, and spinning these guys off into another thing, you just can't really pick up on, I think, the themes because the Andor show just is already doing that. So I'm just giving it a 0.5 because I like these characters and I would like to see more of this era like being explored, but yeah, not in the traditional sense that we talk about in this show. So
Totally.
2.5 is my total.
I gave this also a 2.5 out of 3. I gave it a point for quality of film. I think it is quite successful as a movie. I think when people talk about that Star Wars is a mess under certain leadership, I look back at projects that have come out and I go, there's kind of actually a lot of good stuff in
There's
here.
more good than bad.
And studios develop and drop projects all the time. I think there's just a greater microscope that we are watching the most famous franchise
It's
of
a
all
Death
time
Star
under.
sized microscope staring at the franchise.
So obviously, yes, we can recognize when projects fall through, but the projects that have come out at times I think can be very interesting. But so I like this movie quite a bit. In terms of rewatchability, I also gave this a full point. I did give it a half a point for narrative runway as well. I think the second half that would have gotten it a full point is the actual moving into a sequel of this movie. I don't think it literally cannot exist by its own design, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that is a flaw, but I do think the characters are strong, and Andor, if I'm looking at a lens of I'm looking at this movie in a vacuum, Andor is like there are themes here that I do want to see explored, which thankfully were explored in Andor. And I think, yes, I don't think you could explore these exact themes again. but I think the movie itself is proof that the themes could be. The show is proof that these themes could be explored more. And I think the characters, I think like Chirrut is one that I think of, and Chirrut and Baze, that like
Chirrut and Baze,
a show about
Lethal Weapon style.
Well, even just a show about understanding who the guardians of the wills are, and understanding
cool.
the faith in the Force is something that I think is could be really interesting. And the Force as a concept and exploring it more thoroughly is something that has always made me the most excited for of all the Star Wars movies that they've announced. James Mangold's Star Wars movie talking about set 10,000 years in the past. I think all that is really ripe and available for delving into. So I gave it half a point. So this gets a 2.5 out of 3 for me as well. Good movie that rips and fucks.
Yep.
Dish. What do you think?
Do you concur, rips and fucks, or?
This is my favorite Star Wars movie. I think it might actually be my second favorite movie ever.
Oh wow, that's
really
nice.
I love this movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Good movie.
Captain America: Winter Soldier.
That's
nice.
good.
Okay,
It has been since it came out.
That's
Probably
a good one.
will be till I die.
that's
a fantastic movie.
That's a good. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah, and I think this movie, rewatching it, I was just like, so. I'll say up front, 3 out of 3. This is my 10 out of 10 masterpiece. This is a fantastic movie, and it was done well. You're watching it, and it's like that. I think when you guys mentioned about like how they were like having everyone grow like mustaches, because like it embodied somehow the vibe of making these movies in the 70s to be a prequel to the original trilogy, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
And they nailed it. And I think that it's so cool to see 30, 40 years of technology lead into like redoing these sets and like having the screens, and you're looking at them, you're just like, this looks so rad. And so the quality is like amazing for me. The story itself is really solid. I actually think that all 3 acts are like really solid.
Yeah.
I think they're fun.
I
think they got their things. I think pacing is good. This isn't an obscenely long movie.
No.
For no reason. And the rewatchability is just like so solid. Like I said, I watched it again and I was like, this is still a good movie. One thing I got to say before I expand on my full point for Narrative Runway.
Yeah.
This movie actually was inspiration for what I was trying to do for a D&D campaign for a little bit, because
nice, dude. That's good.
I wanted to do a D&D prequel to one of our other campaigns. And that campaign was like a post-apocalyptic, like storm was going on in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I do a story that ends with the world ending and everyone dying, but feel good? And I thought of this because it's like somehow they do it. Like somehow you watch this movie, it doesn't feel like, I mean, I know you said your family's kind of like, if something bad happens in the movie, it's like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
But I think that for whatever reason you watch this and it's still so satisfying to watch, and they did their story beats well. They prepped it up entirely where it's like, you're kind of realizing they're going to die and get trapped in this shield. It's done well. It's believable. And I think that the way, I mean, a lot of the Star Wars kind of do it, but the whole like the hope deal for like the rebellion, they're built on hope. And it's like, hey, we got this out and it's hope. Like, I think it's done super well. Does it have its things with, right, like some of the CG and you know, could they have done better just recasting or whatever? Like, I think there's aspects to it, but I think for me that this is like for sure my favorite Star Wars movie. For the Narrative Runway, I'm giving the full point, despite what I was saying a moment ago, because I want to remain consistent on how I usually judge our movies. And it's usually like, do I want more of whatever this was?
Yeah,
sure.
And I do.
Sure.
Even if we aren't getting it.
I agree with that. That's I'm like, I do want more of what this is, the idea of this.
Yeah. And I think that that's what for me just like locks it in of like, I'm going to give it the full 3. I'm even going to give it a wild card.
Oh shit.
And give it one of my points just because I want it to be as high as possible. So
what is that?
That's a 9 out of 10. And I'm happy with that.
9 out of 10?
9 out of 10.
I'm happy with
I'm going to put it there. I'm going to give it 4 and call it a day. But this is a fantastic movie. It's a tight movie. It's funny. It's not that stupid funny, and it's not that like.
It's funny when it needs to be funny, and it's the drama hits when
it.
The balance is good.
To be funny that much.
That's the thing. Yeah, and I think that they do it well. So I love this movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
End of speech.
Good.
End of speech. Good,
Next week,
good speech.
we'll be talking about a movie that's equally as good. Am I right, guys?
Mhm.
Did I watch the right movie?
Yeah. So next week we're talking about
The
Solo.
Shawshank Redemption.
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Solo, a Star Wars story.
A movie that is fascinating. To talk
Fascinating movie. A movie like there's a lot of thoughts to go with that.
You know
movie,
what?
So.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered it being.
It's
I
not
will
a
say
bad
that alone.
movie.
It's not.
And I
but,
can save everything else for the next one.
It's
but
not
does it have
bad,
the secret sauce?
but is kind of That's
We'll
maybe
find
the,
out next
the
week.
cliffhanger we'll leave. Yeah. It's an interesting movie. I'm very excited to talk about it because it's a weird one.
It's a very weird one.
It's very weird. And I guess we'll see. Any final thoughts to send us off into next week?
Borgullet.
Good.
Borgullet knows.
If you never mind. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do a bit.
Take it back.
I was gonna like spin it, like I was gonna try to
Yeah.
do it, but I can't. I actually don't know what I was gonna spin it into.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say is there's a ship in this movie called a Hammerhead Corvette, and I think that's
Badass.
fucking cool as
I
hell.
actually wrote that down. I forgot to talk about
So
that
did I.
quality. So
Good.
So-
Name ships cool things.
remember, guys, Hammerhead Corvette, Borgullet, and Borgullet knows.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to another episode of We Need One More.
Be sure to click on the link for our socials and to subscribe to our Patreon, as those are the best ways to support the podcast.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.